Hello everyone, welcome to another day, another makeup look in my bathroom, because who needs a fancy big giant studio and tons of stuff when you can use what you have. I have a little vanity table I sit at now, and that's all I use. If you're new here, I am Mare, and I'm a retired makeup artist, esthetician, nail tech, and hairstylist, and now I live on a mountain in the middle of nowhere with beautiful natural lighting. Starting out, I do not have any filler. I do not have any Botox. I do not have my lips filled. These are my natural lips. Everything you see is me. This is all natural. That also said, I'm going to be 56. I am incredibly gifted genetically. When you look at me, and if you're saying there's no way you're going to be 56 and you have no work done, it's true. I don't know what to tell you. I have no work done. If you see my dad, who is 94, you will understand and you will see that I am not lying. It's just a thing in my family. We seem to have good genes with skin, and thank God, because we have bad backs and high blood pressure. Today is another makeup look with, by the way, no ring light here. Look at my eyes, see, no ring light, no light bouncing off. We are doing natural light. The only thing I do have is I have one light right up here above me. I'll put my hand over it, there we go. So there's one light just above me, and that is to balance out the light coming in the window so I'm not backlit. Is that enough? I am doing another makeup collab look. Every Wednesday and Thursday this month we're doing collab looks in two groups. Wednesdays is Unicorn Glam Squad. Please go check out my look yesterday. It was hilarious. I was like, I look hideous and I know it. I look old and scary and whatever, and I was doing a Victorian ghost look. So that's up yesterday. I'll put a link at the end of this. Today is Women Who Collab, and we are a group that's been together going on 3 years. I think next year I'll be in that group on Instagram, and I think that's where we all kind of met, was on Instagram. I got invited to the group by Mary a long time ago. Mary has not been actively uploading anymore. Chelsea Gainey kind of took the group over. So that being said, look for Chelsea's look and everyone else's in the description box below. I always link everybody in the group, so go check them out. Oh my God, yesterday we all killed it with the ghost looks. We killed it with the ghost looks. Ghost killed. We were dead. We looked so good. I'll stop with the bad jokes. But today, for Women Who Collab, we voted on the themes we wanted to do each week for leading up to Halloween. Most of us in the group, it's our favorite time of year. So I'm in good company. And we decided this week on Greek mythology. Enid is in my lap. This is Enid. Ta! Well, Enid is a toy Xoloitzcuintle, which is a Mexican hairless. She's about to be 6 months old, and she is always in my lap and trying to eat my earring. And I'm trying to keep her from licking my face because I do already have on a primer and a moisturizer and a primer. So I did my morning skincare, then I did a moisturizer, and I did a primer. And I also have an eye base on. I meant to say I already also have an eye base on. And it's just, I'm using all stuff. This is all a shop my stash kind of thing. This is Moonlit primer for the night, and I've never opened this one, and it's just been kind of in a drawer. I'm not trying to buy any new ones. I am just using what I have. So if you're here going, what do I need to buy? What do I need to buy? This maybe ain't it for you. I will tell you what I like and what I don't like. I'm always honest. Topic for today, I will say not just makeup, but a topic. As I put my makeup on, I'm going to do a voiceover. This is going to be a little different today because I have so much to say about the goddess that I am doing a look inspired by, and it is Hecate, or Hecate. Greek mythology is our theme this week. Hecate is my goddess. Make sure you check out everybody below, like I said. Of course, I know who she is. You might know her as the triple goddess, Maiden Mother Crone. I don't want to go too much into that because my voiceover, I got a whole thing I wrote out for you guys. I did research. I wanted to cover all the bases. I want to tell you all about her. She's very cool. I'm saying it without the H because I'm going by this person on the Greek mythology Reddit. So Hecate is my goddess, and I'm going to be using products from VE Cosmetics today. VE is the witchiest witch brand ever, and I love them. I used the foundation yesterday. I used the white. I'm not going to use the white today. I'm actually going to use their Witchcraft foundation in my proper shade, which I did get. This is shade 04. I'll be doing that. I will be using the white more, or you can look at my ghost look. I did kind of a little mini review and showed this yesterday on the back of my hand. Oh my God, I love it. So far, my favorite. I'm going to be using the Grimoire palette, and this was in my top 10 Halloween spooky palettes this year, and I will link that video at the end as well. This is Grimoire. I love this palette so much. Love it, love it, love it. Well, this is Grimoire Volume 2, by the way. Grimoire Volume 2 is different. The original one was different. And she is always redesigning and making these cooler every time. And VE also just recently, I believe, came out with some skincare, so that's really cool. And she actually does it like a book. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Her shades are always a word, so when you read it across, the names are an actual, like they're like a whole saying as you go across. But I read this one in the top 10 eyeshadow palette, so if you want to see that, you can go watch that. And I'll be using shade 04 on my face. And now for lip, I think what I'm going to do is, I'm definitely doing sulfur on the lip. I may be topping it with some Janus. We shall see. I think I want to use Grimoire though as my contour and as a cheek color. So I'm going to be using everything from here. One thing that's a caveat about VE, if you're in the US, they are a UK based brand. The shipping is quite expensive. You do get free shipping, but I found out when I talked about this in my past video that it is like $265 you have to spend to get free shipping. So just know that the shipping is going to be pricey, but it's probably the only brand. And I mean, it is the only brand that I'm willing to pay that much on shipping. If you can't afford it, I totally understand. Don't feel bad if you can't get this because of the shipping. Shipping is crazy anymore. It kind of sucks. I wish the post would get it together, is all I'm saying. Because this is such a great brand. Again, go watch my top 10 video. And if you search on my channel, search VE Cosmetics, I've been talking about this brand for years. There is a video of getting my very first order ever like 3 years ago or something from VE. But I love this brand. I've supported them a long time. They are probably the single most ethical brand, along with Lethal Cosmetics out of Germany. The guys are back from lunch. They're cutting big stones for my patio, literally right outside my window. So I'm sorry about the noise in advance. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm just going to start putting this makeup on. I am probably not going to talk much through this. The other bonus about me doing a voiceover is you guys don't have to listen to all that in the background. That's kind of an important thing right now because this is going to be going on the whole rest of my day and the week. And it's getting louder. Let's get some makeup on my face.
The Greek goddess Hecate, or Hecate, is the goddess of sorcery and ghosts. Perfect for this time of year. She is depicted as the goddess of magic, dogs, and night. Gee, are you surprised that I love her? You shouldn't be. She is not wholly good or evil, also me. Pause for effect. But her actions show loyalty and compassion with her followers. It is believed that Hecate was a virgin goddess, although some sources say she was the lover of Aeetes, the son of the Titan god Helios. A little bit about her, simple facts. She is the queen and protectress of witches, the night queen, the crone, the guardian of doorways and crossroads. Her color is black. Her familiar is a large dog and a polecat. There's two. I have a small black dog. Does that count? Offerings are honey, garlic, and apples. Hey, I love all those things. Other symbols: paired torches, a rough stormy sea, the dog star, keys, and Hecate's wheel. The best time to petition Hecate is on the last day of each month, so of course that's going to be on Halloween. How awesome is that? That's so cool. Or on the night of the dark moon, the day before a new moon, when the moon exhibits no illumination. Honoring Hecate on the 16th of November. It is traditional to leave food offerings out in nature on this night. It is understood that Hecate decides who is most in need of your offering. Thus, one thing you can do is leave sliced apples and honey at the bottom of the garden on a plate. Paper is best. During cold November evenings, this makes for a tasty treat for hungry wildlife. Keep in mind you must not return to the plate that same night. Similarly, it is custom to consume fish as a part of your evening meal, to incorporate garlic, apples, and honey into your feast or on your altar also. Finally, as a magical practitioner, we give thanks to Hecate for her guidance and protection as we continue to tread the hidden path. A little bit more background. She's a fascinating figure from Greek mythology, often associated with magic, witchcraft, the moon, ghosts, and the underworld. Some of the key aspects of her character and worship. Her origin and parentage. Hecate is often described as the daughter of the Titans Perseus, the personification of destruction, and Asteria, the starry one. Side note, Asteria, I was actually thinking about naming Enid that, but anyway, that's another story. Some myths refer to her as having been born from the primordial chaos. I kind of like that story. Cults and worship. Hecate was worshipped in ancient Greece, particularly in Arcadia and at places like Athenian rituals and Samothrace. She had a significant presence in the underworld pantheon. Some of her attributes and symbols, going into a little bit more detail here. The triple goddess. And a lot of you know what this is already. It's the Maiden Mother Crone, it's the triple moon, but she is often depicted as a triple goddess embodying the Maiden Mother and Crone aspects, representing her dominion over life, death, and transformation. Symbols. Common symbols associated with her include dogs, which are considered sacred to her. Now this explains a lot more, doesn't it? Now you're seeing how this falls into her being a favorite of mine. Keys, representing her ability to unlock the mysteries of the underworld. Torches, signifying her role as a guide through the darkness and the unknown. And the moon, associated with her connection to the lunar phases. Hecate's domains and powers. Magic and witchcraft. Hecate is renowned as a goddess of magic, often invoked in spells and rituals. She represents the mysteries of magic and is known for her ability to traverse between different worlds. Underworld. Hecate serves as a guide for souls in the afterlife, often associated with the transition between life and death. Fertility and protection. In some traditions, she's viewed as a protector of women in childbirth and as a goddess who presides over fertility. Myths and legends. Hecate and Persephone. One of her prominent roles involves assisting Demeter in searching for her daughter Persephone after she was abducted by Hades. Hecate is often depicted with Persephone and is instrumental in her story within the mythological cycle of growth and decay. In literature, Hecate appears in various classical texts, including in the works of Homer and later in Shakespeare's Macbeth, where she is portrayed as the Queen of Witches, underscoring her connection to magic and the supernatural. Representation in art. Hecate is frequently portrayed in art with multiple heads, or sometimes as a solitary figure with her dogs, holding her symbols like torches or keys. Her imagery evokes the power of the moon and the mystery of the night. A little bit about her influence. Contemporary witchcraft. In modern paganism and Wicca, Hecate holds a prominent place as a deity of protection, magic, and the supernatural. She is often invoked in rituals and is revered for her wisdom and guiding presence. Hecate embodies the complexities of life, death, and transformation, making her an enduring figure in both ancient and contemporary spiritual practices. I have found a very interesting website called thecollector.com. I will put a link below to this in case you want to read it or look at it. But it's really interesting. If you want to look more into this, will be linked below. So we're going into, on this website, description. Hecate was commonly depicted in Greek pottery in singular form, wearing a long robe and holding burning torches in her hands. Pillars of the torch-bearing goddess, called Hecatea, stood at crossroads and doorways. Later, Hecate's most prevalent iconographic representation is as a triple-formed goddess, with each form standing back to back, looking at each direction of a crossroads. Some of her statuary votive offerings included the addition of the Graces dancing around the goddess. In other representations, she is accompanied by a pack of dogs. Again, like me. In his description of Greeks, Pausanias posits that Hecate's triple form representation was first depicted by the sculptor Alcamenes in the 5th century BCE. He also states that a sculpture of the goddess called, oh my god, these words are too hard, Epergidia, on the tower was in Athens, beside wingless Victory's temple on the Acropolis. On the famous Pergamon altar, 2nd century BCE, Hecate is represented as trimorphic while attacking a serpent-like giant with a dog's help. Throughout antiquity, Hecate's triple form was portrayed as 3 separate bodies around a central column. Yet in late antiquity, this representation transformed into a single goddess with 3 heads. Esoteric literature from this time describes her as having 3 heads, that of a dog, a snake, and a horse. Hecate was also identified with many goddesses from surrounding pantheons. As previously mentioned, Hecate's most sacred animal was the dog. In a description offered by Apollonius of Rhodes, Hecate's presence was accompanied by the sounds of dogs' barks from the underworld. Ancient authors such as Ovid and Pausanias indicate that dogs, particularly black dogs, were sacrificed to the goddess. No! Well, no. Okay, they didn't know better. They didn't have a humane society back then and animal welfare. They probably meant well, but oh my God, all those poor dogs. No, so if you want to honor her, get a black dog and just love it, love it, love it, and spoil it. I think she would like that a lot more. Scholars have also suggested that Hecate's association with dogs points to her role as the goddess of birth. This is because dogs were also the sacred animals of other birth goddesses. In later antiquity, Hecate's dogs became associated with the restless souls of the dead who accompanied the goddess. The myth of Queen Hecuba's metamorphosis into a dog is linked to the goddess Hecate. According to the legend, Odysseus received Hecuba as his captive after the fall of Troy, but the Trojan queen murdered a Thracian king on her voyage to Greece. As a punishment, Hecuba was transformed into a black dog and became the companion of Hecate. Another sacred animal of the goddess was the polecat or weasel. According to the myth told by Antonius Liberalis, Alcmena's midwife, Galinthias, had deceived the gods during the birth of Heracles. While seeing Alcmena in labor pains, Galinthias went to the goddess of childbirth. These names are killing me, you guys. Eileithyia, and the Fates, who prolonged the labor as a favor to Hera, told them the child had been born. In retribution for deceiving the gods, Galinthias was transformed into a polecat. Hecate pitied her transformation and appointed Galinthias as her servant and companion. Okay, if she worshipped her, why did she make her servant? I don't know. Gods and goddesses were weird. We'll go into worship of the goddess. The cult of the goddess in mainland Greece was not as popular as the worship of other Olympians. She had a few dedicated temples throughout the ancient world. Smaller households had shrines for Hecate. They were commonplace in the ancient world. These smaller shrines were erected to ward off evil and protect the individual from witchcraft. Interesting, since she became a goddess of witchcraft, right? In Greece, Hecate's most prominent cult centers were in Caria, Eleusis, and the island of Samothrace. In Samothrace, the goddess was worshipped as a goddess of mysteries. Evidence of her worship has likewise been discovered in Thessaly, Thrace, Colophon, and Athens. The latter two cities bear evidence of sacrifices of dogs in the goddess's honor. Not again with the dog sacrifice. It's upsetting. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry, you guys, but it was a long time ago, okay? They were ancient. I don't know. We have to let it go. She was the goddess most worshipped by the people of Aegina, who believed that Orpheus established rights of the goddess on their island. Pausanias also described a wooden image of Hecate located in the Aegean temple. Although she does not have a Homeric hymn in her honor, she has several Orphic hymns. In fact, the collection of Orphic hymns open with a hymn dedicated to the goddess. This is significant because of her role as the goddess of entryways. The Orphic hymn to Hecate reveals a lot about her spheres of influence as perceived by the Orphics. In their mystery, she was the goddess of roads and crossroads and invoked as such. Most notably, she is also called the goddess of the dead who presides over deserted places. In this hymn, her sacred animals include deer, dogs, and wild predators. She is described as the herder of bulls and nurturer of youths as well. The hymn beseeches the goddess to come into the holy rites in a favorable mood with a happy heart. I don't think she's a goddess you want to piss off, just saying. The goddess Hecate proves to be more interesting the more we learn about her. Her position as a liminal figure and a goddess of roads and entryways illuminates her position as a protector, yet her role as a nocturnal goddess of magic and witchcraft reveals a darker side. Hecate is a multifaceted figure deserving the same attention level as the more popular deities from the Greek mythology pantheon. Again, this is from thecollector.com. Really cool website. If you go to it, they have popular topics: medieval history, literature, military history, mythology, Native American, women's history. They have an ancient history section. They have art and artists. They have Renaissance, 17th, 19th century, modern, contemporary. They also have a section on philosophy. just tons and tons of things to read. I am going to be on this website a lot. So shout out to the collector for this last section and what I've told you about her from this. I will link that below.
Finished look. Okay, I've been dying to wear this thing. Can you see this on my head? They are smoky quartz crystals with the triple moon. It's a headband. I got it on Amazon, actually. So here we are. I like this better than my ghost look. Okay, I could walk around like this. I would totally do this as a Halloween costume. Not that I think my dear goddess Hecate is a costume. Okay? She's more a deity that I love and respect. I too prefer to be solitary with my dogs. No, you can't lick mommy's makeup. This is my look. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out VE Cosmetics. I always say on here, look, don't feel bad if you can't afford this stuff, okay? I'm just saying, you know, maybe someday if you have the money to get some VE Cosmetics, it's worth the investment. And that's the thing, is you can buy a bunch of cheap makeup that doesn't work right, that isn't going to work right, that you don't like, or you can just spend, I know everybody can't just spend a little bit more, but when you take all the crappy cheap makeup that you've purchased and you add up the cost, you could buy this one palette. Get rid of, you don't need 5 crappy cheap palettes, you need one good one. Invest in one good one. So from me, the maiden mother crone, and my dog, we are going to go back to our solitary life in the woods. I really feel like I need to go take a picture of myself out in the woods in this, because that would be so cool. Although I'm probably going to scare the contractors that are working on our yard if I walk outside like this right now. I freaking love this. Tell me what you think in the comments. I love the lip. So again, it's Sulfur by VE, and I use Janice over the top, which is freaking amazing. Now the thing about Janice is you can keep layering it on. I'll add a little bit more. The more I add it on, the more the blue picks up, which I really love. Absolutely love this shade. I did the 3 lines for Maiden Mother Crone. Of course, I have the triple moons. And then I did this one just as, and I do have the little pentacle stamp. Oh, so I didn't mention it at the top, but I use the VE Put Your Stamp on It eyeliner. And she makes different ones. This one has the pentacle on it. So that is what's on my face. And you go stamp and you have a little pentacle. And I love that. This is a really good eyeliner too. And it's just the little, this kind of, there you go. So love it. There it is on my hand. And it's on my eyes. And love this. I love the pentacle stamp. And so far, I have not had this thing stamp and be sloppy. It stamps perfectly every time. Oh my goodness, my watchdog is protecting me. My wig is all over her head. I hope you learned something. Let me know below what you think. I love this look. I've been dying to wear this wig too. I've had this wig for years. Years and years. Never realized what a good wig it is for this costume though. But yeah, duality, it's a thing. Light and dark. Thanks for watching, and let's keep counting down to Halloween and doing more makeup. So glad I got to use this palette. I told you guys I was going to use the palette in my palettes in my top 10. Here we go. First one. More to come. See you in the next one. Have I been sitting here with a smudged moon this whole time? Yes, I have. Okay, well, I fixed my moon. I think I smudged it when I was putting my wig on, and I just noticed. I was going to do this line. I forgot I was going to do that. That was in my inspiration picture, and I totally forgot about it. I will see you in the next one, and bye for now. Blessed be.